Well, it's very good that the Minister's here herself today to see at first hand the difficulties we've had with this river. I mean, the flooding that happened in the area behind you in Lagmore Heights was solely because this river burst its banks and came in, and it was like a mudslide. It was like the river just extended down that street. So I think it's very, very important for our ministers to come in, to see it first hand, to talk to people at first hand, because that's the way they're going to be able to make a difference. And you can see by the grill that's on here now, and river agencies are saying the grill is totally inadequate. So therefore, pressure now needs to be put on to the people who are responsible for this, who are the people who own the land. And now we can come back to do that so they can live up to their responsibilities and ensure that this is adequately dealt with. She's right across West Belfast today. She'll be visiting the Belfast Hills project later on, but straight after this here she's gone up to an allotment project up in the Colin Glen forest. And what that is a project that has just developed by a few people coming together and actually creating allotments for people in the Colin area where people can come and grow vegetables and grow fruit. And what we're hoping to do with that allotment project is to develop it into a social economy project which will create jobs for people, for local people, and particularly for our young people, and that it also provides an opportunity to see some of the positive work that's been done in the Colin community.
How important is it for West Belfast constituents, indeed the wider West Belfast community, to see people like Michelle in the area, ministers?
I think it's very, very important for people to see, because I believe that the process that we had before when we were under direct rule, ministers came for meetings and then left again. They were never ever in these areas, and these are areas of high deprivation and need and disadvantage, and we need to be making sure that we change the quality of life for people in these areas, and it's only through people coming in, engaging with the local residents, with local communities, and actually hearing what the difficulties are, that we can go in any way to try and alleviate that.
Once people have came up here, we had a demand anyway, but once people came up, you know, they're virtually queuing up now. People love, you can see for yourself, the background here is amazing. We've the benches, we've our picnic area. So people come up here and they don't want to go home. It's a great release for tensions, any sort of, if you come up here, you're not long forgetting about the issues that you're dealing with day to day.
Any problems with the hosepipe ban this year?
No problems at all. I don't think anybody's even needed to put a hose on these. See here, as you see today, we've got north sprinkling, so natural water production here.
Yeah, how you doing?
Not so bad. You do too. When was that, last September? Or?
I think it would have been. We walk up around here.
Yeah.
We're a very poor organisation that's surviving in a very socially deprived area, and we really need support from ministers. So to have Michelle coming down here today, just to put us on her radar, is a key step for us to achieve what we want to do. We have a fantastic resource here which is being largely underutilised and ignored by various government departments and government bodies, and not seen as a priority. Obviously for us it is a priority. For the people in West Belfast, this is a priority to try and push Colin Glen Forest Park so as they can use it, so as they can feel safe using it, so as we can get it up to a point where it's not just going to be good for them, but it's going to attract people into the area as well. So it's great to have that support from Sinn Fein and from the Minister to come, and if it can lead to funding and if it can lead to us improving the way we do things here, it'll be good for the people of West Belfast.
Part of that river runs through here.
And are they committed to tidying that in there? No, just this area?
So this is another part of the river which is probably not adapted as well.
Right, okay.
So what it's all...
Well, I mean, we've been around some of the houses of people who were affected by the flooding, and it was just really good that the Minister has taken this time out to do that, and so given local people access to the Minister, which probably they never had before, never ever got an opportunity to be heard face to face by a minister. So it's good for them to see that she's really interested and she wants to do something to help. So it's about trying to find solutions to these problems, because apart from the bad flooding and what what it meant for people to have their homes destroyed. It also is the fear of it happening again, and that's nearly worse because that's constant and that's stress, and that's with people all the time. So if today the Minister can maybe identify some issues, like for instance having the river adopted, because that's one of the problems. Nobody has responsibility for sections of the river, and that'll be one step. But there's also an issue that I think is going to involve environmental health, because there's fly tipping and there's people dumping stuff in the river, and that's adding to the problem. So it's about taking whatever kind of actions that can be taken in practical terms, which hopefully might not completely eradicate the chance that people will be flooded again, or that there will be a danger of being flooded, but it will minimise maybe the effects of what happened, because none of us can really, cater for the kind of flash flooding that happened there recently. But what you can do is try and take measures that will minimise the effects of that, and that's what the Minister's doing here today.
Hi Michelle, haven't seen you.
No, you haven't. Keeping well?
Well, this is one of the...
West Belfast Sinn Fein has invited the Minister in to do a number of meetings all over West Belfast today with regard to some of the flood victims who suffered greatly 5 weeks ago. She's hearing concerns at first hand, and I think that's the beauty about having local accountable ministers who can come out and talk to people, take concerns on, hopefully implement some initiatives that will help solve our problems in the future. So it's quite important. We've been in areas such as Lagmore, where there was a really atrocious, where the riverbank had burst and had into people's homes. We're in Riverdale, we're in Brook. Listen to the concerns of all the residents, and I think it's a very good initiative that the Minister and the party, local party in West Belfast, has done today to do it. But we've also shown her some of the positive initiatives that are happening right across West Belfast as well. We were in an allotment scheme up in Colin Glen. We're in Colin Glen Forest Park, hopefully where there's future initiatives there with maybe other parks and stuff going into that particular place. We have met with the Minister since the floods. Today she's now talking to the victims of the floods, and I think that if it wasn't for the local accountability of ministers being elected here by the local people, you wouldn't have had a British minister coming into these houses to speak to these people. Them days are over, thankfully. We're now much more positive, local accountable ministers elected, as well as MLAs and MPs and councillors right across the north, and I think that's a better system to work. People can have access to the ministers, and people appreciate that greatly.
Well, basically it's great for us to have the Minister up in the area today to show her our plans, tell her about the issues and the problems we have on this site. This is an old abandoned factory sitting here, which has now become one of the 4 most active interfaces in Belfast. We have plans to totally transform this area, to make it into to make it an area that gravitates, that brings young people and people from both communities together. It is unique, and it's one of the only conflict resolution areas in Belfast that is community based. It's very firmly based in here. So from that point of view, it's good. We've done our homework in that end, but it's good from us today, or good from our end today. So I had to have the Minister, Michelle, in today, Michelle O'Neill, and also to have the MP, so that they know exactly what we have planned for this area, and if they have any future plans, if they come across their table, they know exactly what we're talking about.
Minister Michelle O'Neill, great to see you in West Belfast. How's your day gone?
Fantastic so far, and such a varied day. Who'd have thought there'd be so many things for a minister, an agriculture minister and a rural minister to come into West Belfast. But obviously there's a lot of the area that, sort of the areas in the periphery of West Belfast that will come in under the rural constituency. I'm standing here now on top of Black Mountain. Look at the site, it's absolutely fantastic. So much potential here, and the site just needs to be opened up to the wider Belfast community, and I think will be the benefit, that'll give the benefit to the wider community. I was actually out today and visited some people who were flooded quite recently, Lagmore, Brook and Riverdale. Obviously big issues for those people. Some people actually have been flooded 15 times quite recently, and I think that's just ridiculous. So we need some action, and we need all the different agencies that are responsible to come together and collectively sort the problem out, because people don't care about why they're being flooded, they care about getting the problem fixed, and I think that's the job of departments. So if it comes under the remit of my department, Rivers Agency, we were wanting to take a look today and talk to people just about how they were impacted. But also today I was up at the Colin Glen Allotment project, a fantastic project, such a gem in the middle of West Belfast. Really, really impressed I was there last September, and to go back today, it just was fantastic to see the progress that they've made. And I definitely encourage the people of Belfast to go up and take a look, because I've no doubt they'll fall in love with the place and they'll want to get involved and start growing some of their own vegetables. There'll be great pride in cooking your own vegetables that you've grown, so I definitely encourage people to do that. But as I said then, I went on up here today before I've come up onto Black Mountain. We were down and talked about the shared space project that we have, and I think there's so much potential to join all these projects up. There's no doubt about it, the elected representatives in this community are very much at the heart of the community, and there's such a lot of good work going on. I think it's so important that we start to join up the dots, join all these projects, make this site accessible to the people of Belfast. And I can very clearly see today from meeting the elected representatives, meeting the community workers, that that's everybody's intention. Beautiful area to go walking, absolutely. When I've walked through it now a few times myself, and I do think there's so much more potential. And it just ticks all the boxes in terms of getting young people out, getting them active, getting them walking up and down and taking a bit of ownership for what's on their doorstep. I'm absolutely so delighted to be here in West Belfast today, and so all these areas that are here on the doorstep of the people of Belfast, I really encourage them to use them, and I really commend those people that are involved in all of these projects and trying to encourage young people in particular, young and old, but young people in particular, to come out and even the health benefits of taking a walk up these hills, if you can manage to get up some of them hills. But it's so good and there's so much potential, and we need to exploit it a lot more. My job in the department is agriculture. It's rural, but it's also about tackling poverty and social isolation, and that's one of the priorities that we've had and that we've taken into this department. So if we can be involved in any shape or form in terms of promoting these projects, particularly this is a project that we've been very much involved in, heavily funding. We want to continue to do that. It's very important for us, for Sinn Fein in our departments, that we are reaching out to the people that need the help. And I think this is great in terms of the health benefits and just positive, good mental feeling just about being here. So more of the same, and I do think it's about joining up the dots, because there's so much good work being done here. And I think that if we continue to work together, if we continue to look outside, think outside the box a wee bit, then I think that the potential's there.
Michelle O'Neill, Gurmilla Margaret.
Gurmilla Margaret.